I came back from my business trip earlier than expected. I didn't tell anyone I was returning. I wanted to surprise Miguel. When I arrived on our street, I saw several cars parked in front of our house. The garden was decorated with blue and pink balloons. A banner read, "Welcome, our little miracle." I parked my car a street away and walked over. The door was slightly open. Music and laughter spilled from inside. When I stepped in, I froze. In the middle of the living room, Carmen, my best friend, was visibly 6 months pregnant. My mother-in-law, Rosa, was gently stroking her belly while my mother served drinks. Gifts were stacked on a decorated table. "So, is the nursery ready?" my Aunt Elena asked. "Almost," Carmen replied. Miguel insisted on painting it himself. He's been working on it every weekend. At that moment, my husband walked in, carrying more drinks. He approached Carmen and hugged her from behind, placing his hands on her belly. "We just need to set up the crib. We picked it out together last week." I watched as my mother stiffened upon seeing me. She quickly walked over. "Anna, we weren't expecting you today," she whispered, grabbing my arm. "Let's go outside. We need to talk." I pulled away from her grasp. "Talk about what? About how my husband got my best friend pregnant while I was working in another country?" Chatter in the room died down. Carmen was the first to notice me. Her face turned pale. Miguel stood frozen, his hands still on her belly. "Anna," he began. "Don't you dare." I cut him off. "How long have you been cheating on me?" No one answered. My father, standing in a corner, couldn't even look me in the eye. "I can explain," Carmen said, taking a step forward. "We didn't want you to find out like this." "Oh? And how were you planning to tell me? After the baby was born, or when they turned 18? My mother-in-law stepped in. "Anna, please, think about the baby. Carmen doesn't need this stress in her condition." "Her condition?" I let out a humorless laugh. "The same condition I was. In 2 years ago when I lost my baby. Where was your concern then, Rosa?" The silence that followed was deafening. My mother tried again. "Honey, I know this is difficult." "Difficult for whom?" "For me, who worked nonstop for 9 months while my husband was sleeping with my best friend. Or for all of you who had to." "Keep up the charade." Miguel finally stepped away from Carmen. "Anna, can we talk privately? Don't make a scene." "A scene?" "No, Miguel. A scene would be telling everyone how you convinced me to take that overseas job. How you said we needed the money to start our family." I turned to Carmen. "Did he tell you that? Or did he say he was lonely and abandoned while his cruel wife chased her career?" Carmen started crying. "It wasn't like that. We didn't plan this." "Of course not. I suppose you just tripped and fell pregnant by my husband. These things happen, right?" The guests began shifting uncomfortably. Some grabbed their bags ready to leave. My father finally spoke up. "Anna, calm down. You're upset." "Upset? No, Dad. I'm perfectly calm. In fact, I'm grateful." My mother frowned, confused.